Hi everyone, I've just sitting, I'm stripping, basically I'll show you the feather before it's wet. I've got some blue jay feathers here, these ones here, and I'll need to strip away one side, especially the side with the marked fibre. Now what I do is I basically soak them in warm water, it's easier. Just a dish of warm water, I've got them in there, but take away the moisture before I start to strip it, and then what I'm going to do is put it into my vise so you can see what I'm doing. Well, I do it in the vise anyway. So what I do then is I just simply bring out the fibre, the side that I want, and I strip it from the tip down. Now just nice and easy, allow it to come away from the stem, let it slip all the way down. You may lose one or two fibres, but I usually keep them. Just near the tip, just sit them on my desk, and then take it away, and there we go, that's fibre or one done. I'll show you again. Again, just moisten, I'll take the water away from the feather, just in the hanky or so. Put the feather into the vise, come up near the tip, and then just as I say, bring it out so I can see what I'm doing. Nice and easy, allow it to come away. That was a perfect one, as you can see, there it's there. And then that's us ready to tie the fly. Nice feather, nice fibre, nice and thin, the stem will be nice and thin for you to wind. And there we are, that's how I strip the blue jay from the feather, but it does make it easier if you soak them in water. I just put my dish of hot water, as I say, and I just spend an hour or so. Some split better than others, but you do get it. I mean, there is another way of putting the blue jay on, but I'm going to be tying it just as it traditionally was done. It was one of the questions I got asked, and could I tie a golden olive bumble? And you can see it comes away really easy all the way down. That's the side there I want. So anyway, there we go. That's how to strip away one side the blue jay feather for using, or for winding. It allows you to wind near the head and form a nice hackle. So now we're ready to tie our golden olive. Now this is the fly here. So basically what I'm going to do is tie this. This is a golden olive bumble, or a variant, as I said, because it's tied. I've tied it to suit what I like. It's just a variant. I mean, I've got to say variant because it's so hard. If I could tie a dozen golden olives, and somebody said they would say that's not right. So basically, I'm going to tie, as I say, a variant of the fly. Basically, as you know, I've obviously prepared the blue jay in the way it should be wound on, rather than there's another way of doing it, which I like doing. I like tying. You get a lot more out of the feathers, but I'm going to tie it as the original, so as that was a question I got asked. Now I'm going to be tying a size 10, which is a good size fly, and it's a great size for the lochs on the island, and a good wave. It's actually really well, and it fishes really well, especially when the mayfly is coming off. Through the season, I mean, you can tie it whatever size you like, but as I say, it's very popular in Ireland. So anyway, thread I'm going to be using, again, it's up to you. I'm going to be using a red thread, and this is a Uni 80. Now the hook is it's a fulling mill, it's a competition heavyweight, size 10, as I said. Now I have waxed the thread, so it's got plenty of grip. Going to put down a layer of thread along the shank, and I'm going to just basically just slightly by the barb of the hook, meaning just when I'm coming onto the bend, it's just slightly by, a couple of turns or so. Now the tail of the fly is a golden pheasant crest, and I'm going to use 2 feathers. So take them off. Now I always remember the first time when I was in Ireland, and it was in the mayfly time, and the gentleman I was fishing the boat with had one of these on, and I noticed the tail length. It was really, really long, and I mean really long. It was the length of a mayfly tail, But I'm going to basically tie it as a kind of standard, and you're looking round about the body or the shank length, sorry, to the hook length. It's up to yourself, so I'm going to stick to that. And now, as I say, I've got 2 feathers, just to basically bulk up the tail a wee bit. So I do a turn on top, and then I basically come underneath the fibres, and then I pull like I was doing a dry fly towards the eye and do a turn on top. And there we are, and that's how I like my tail. And then I trim this the length of the body, which is there. Now I'm going to tie in my rib, which is a gold oval tinsel, and this is a small. Now what I'm going to do here is quickly run my thread up, just securing these in. I prefer to do that, it's tidier if you do this. All the way up. Relax, and I'm going to quickly come back down, stop short, basically about maybe a couple of mil from the tail. Now, if you read Kingsmill Moore's book, now the book's called A Man May Fish. Now, his dressing, I've got it in here, I'll tell you exactly what he says. Now, the golden olive bumble, the tail is golden pheasant topping, which is there. The body is a golden olive seal's fur ribbed with an oval gold tinsel, and the body is a cock hackle dyed golden olive, and mixed, well through it would be a medium red natural cock, and then the shoulder, meaning the front hackle, is blue jay. Now further down he talks about the golden olive colour, and in the body especially. To get the correct golden olive, it's difficult to describe, because he says as the shops are a bit harsh and yellow, too much yellow in them, there should be a hint of a green in the yellow, and the yellow is a warmer yellow, like an Invicta yellow. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mix a couple of colours. Now, it may sound a wee bit funny, but I've got a sunburst here. Now it's quite a strong sunburst. And then I've got an olive, a green. Now it's got that chartreusey colour coming from it, and he does mention that. So what I'm going to do is basically take a pinch of I normally do a lot the whole batch, but what I'll do it together, I'll take about 2/3 sunburst, and then I'll get some of the green, some of the olive, and then I'll take 1/3 of that. So basically I blend this into this here, and I just mix it through my fingers. And then I'll get obviously 2 or 3 flies out of this. Spend a minute or so just to do that. Once you're happy, then I just basically offer it to the thread, and I basically have my anchor point, my finger and thumb here, and I twist one way towards my fingers, and that basically builds up a bit of seal's fur, a bit of dubbing onto the thread. So then what I've got is, it's a funny way to put it here, but it's like a reservoir of fur or dubbing there, so that I can then feed it onto the hook. So what I do is I push it up so it gets anchored to the body. It gets an anchor to there so that I can twist to that point. So then what I like to do is wind towards the tail a wee bit, and then start to work my way up. You want some sort of taper in the body and a nice shape, so we just work our way up, stretching out the dubbing when we need to, coming back if we need to as well, just to get that taper. You quick look at it, that's fine. And now, as I say, just work your way up. Now we've got to obviously tie in the body hackles and the front hackle, so give yourself at least a couple of mil. Once you're happy, just take away the excess. There we are. At my desk. Again, works my thread. Now, this, as I read the rest now, it spoke about using natural brown and a golden olive, a golden yellow. Now, what I've done here is, I do it quite regular, whether it be this cape, this is a Chinese neck I have. You can see it's a kind of barred ginger. So basically, I've dyed that a golden yellow. You can tie it golden olive, but a golden yellow, you get in, it's a nice colour. It could even be like a sunburst, and you'll get that same colour in the body. And that's what I've done. So I'm going to take use 2 hackles, and I'm not going to be shy with them. I want 2 nice hackles so I can wind down the body. The Bumble is hence the name Bumble, it's a bumble of materials really. It's a good, well-dressed fly. So I'm just lining up, make sure the tips have lined up. Bear away the stem at the base of the feather. Make sure you wax your thread. Make sure it's tied in, nice and tight. I'm drawing back any fibre going forward. Now I'm going to wind these both together, if you can do it. Just by this way I've got the tips lined up, makes it easier obviously. Now a wee small pair of hackle pliers. Yeah, I usually, at times I'll just do it with my fingers, but I'm going to get in the way from obviously filming, so I'm just going to wind round. Now I like a good couple of turns at the top, and then work my way down. Just before the last turn I come up with my oval tinsel, a straight turn at the back which protects the back. Catch in my hackle, and then rib the body. Now your standard ribbon would be 5 times. Work your way up. That's it. Make sure it's nice and tight. Stroke any fibres going forward, back. Catch it in. Good 3 or 4 turns in there before we go any further. Trim away. Stroke back these fibres now. I'm just going to use my nail here to basically, the oval tinsel, I'm opening it out, the tinsel, to flatten it with my nail. And now I'm going to come in here, trim away, one only come away to the 2 hackle points. Now a wee quick look, it's very Bumble-like, it's ideal. Now I've got my blue jay. Now you've seen me preparing it earlier. I like a length, when you're selecting these, you want a length of fibre that's longer than the body hackle, so it tapers, nice taper into it. It can be slightly longer than normal. Yeah, I've actually, what I've got here, I've select a nice bright feather. Now I've been obviously doing a few, making sure they're neat. Now I have tied a couple, so I've got a nice feather here. I'm want to try and get as much out of one feather as I can. Now you could probably get 2 flies out of this, so I'm going to try and tie it as close to the tip as I can. So I'm using up all the feather. Just preparing some of the fibres here. Now I'm going to trim away what I don't need. Make sure, as I say, wax your thread. I catch it on the side. It's important that you make sure this is tied in nice and tight. Now I'll probably get, as I say, another fly out of this. I'm just looking at how much I can use. But look, if you're going to come short and the fly's not going to look good, stop. Just nice straight turn at the back here. Or straight, you want a nice straight turn. Just work your way round. And that's fine. Now as I come up with my thread, make a space for the thread to come through and onto the stem. Just bend the stem so it comes in. I'll show you what it looks. I don't know if you can see it, but you want to catch it right in. Nice and tight. Just concentrate and put a few turns in there. Just stroking back. Come in there, get it cut. Leave a wee touch. And there we are. I'm just going to tidy the head area up. Obviously I want a nice red head. When you're happy, then you can whip finish. Now there's many variants now, as I say. You put legs on these now, jungle cock, so on, but this is just the basic one. There we are. Now the question was, could I tie a fly winding the blue jay, and could I tie another one was, could I tie a golden olive bumble? And there we are. So I've done both. Now I'm just going to varnish the head. It's just a vineyard varnish I'm using. Now you could use resin if you want, it's up to you. I'm going to stick just to the varnish. Just rotate all the way around. Just be careful we don't flood the fly. There we are. And to get a nice bright head, obviously a couple of coats would do it fine. And there we are. That's the golden olive bumble, and as I say, a variant. It's one I tie. I've tied many. There's that many variants out there. Just like colour variations. Some people like a certain way, a certain colour, a certain length of tail. And it goes on and on. Some with legs, some with jungle cock. So there we are. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It is a nice flag to tie, and it fishes extremely well, and certainly worth tying. So anyway, until next time, and thanks for watching.